So everybody's recording. Welcome to episode. No. New name. Welcome to 2041. Episode 50774. The Redemption Arc. All right. I couldn't stay away. I had to come back at some point. Just seems like fun, Talking on the internet for absolutely no reason, with no research, no basis for any of my claims, and just kind of going for it. Remember, none of this is research. This is all just dome piece. You know what I'm saying? So don't don't expect facts in all this. Okay. The first thing I want to talk about is I'm gonna put this down so I don't lose it or break it. First thing I want to talk about, context. I'm a photographer, and I'm restructuring the business. And in that, I am working DoorDash in the meantime until the new product line takes hold, which is about a year before it catches, and then another year before it makes profit. So that's 2 years of zero photography income. Now, in the meantime, I'm working DoorDash. And to further contextualize that, I haven't ridden a motorcycle in 25 years, 30 years, and things have changed. I thought that I could get used to the social, what motorcycling has become. I 100% thought I could get used to it, and today I'm not so sure. I had a pickup at, where was it? Arby's. So people actually do eat at Arby's. People do actually eat at Arby's. Somebody's eating there. So I go to McDonald's all the time. I go into Burger King all the time. Starbucks all the time. But this time took the cake. You feel me? This time took the cake. An employee was behind the counter. I walked in, and I get it. I used to hate it when a motorcycle guy comes in with his helmet on, but I got good reason. I'm not pulling my helmet off. How many deliveries do I do a day? 20 times a day. I'm not doing 40 on and offs with my helmet every day. Every time I get walk into a business and then walk back out a few minutes later with the thing. If it's McDonald's in Berlin, I know I'm going to be there for 3 hours waiting for the food to get done. So no big deal. They need more employees there. They need more employees in McDonald's in Berlin. It is absolutely overrun. There's a lot. Okay, back to the point. I get to Arby's in Los Lunas, and it's such a small little store. That store, I don't know what they're holding on with. There's never more than 5 employees. There's never more than 2 people in the store at a time. The driveway does a little bit of work, but the restaurant indoor is closed. It's dying inside. Like most restaurants, but this one's special. Arby's in the seating area is always, and it's always like older people. You can tell people who ate Arby's in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. That's who still goes to eat at Arby's. But I go in, and I have my tablet. I have my helmet on. I have a $20 GoPro, $20 Amazon Dollar General special GoPro on the front, which really is just a deterrent. Keeps people from acting crazy. A guy threatened to kill me one time, and he saw the camera, he immediately calmed down. It's a deterrent. It's rarely on. It only records for like 3 minutes before it dies. It's not a real GoPro, but people don't know the difference, so they see it, they relax a lot, because they don't want to be on YouTube. And, I got my ventilated motocross gear on, and, I go in, I say DoorDash for, what's her name? DoorDash for Tabitha. Uh, and then the girl behind the counter loses her shit. I mean, like, stops what she's doing, comes around to the front counter next to the lady that was working at the counter. And the lady at the counter was like, all right, DoorDash Tabitha, blah, 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 blah. And the girl comes around the counter, bumps the other girl. Oh my God! I love your hat. That is such a cool hat. At first, I thought she was fucking with me. You know what I mean? At first, I thought, she's just, say it nicely. This lady was trying to clown on me, and I was about to dig into her. I grew up with a famous name, so it's nothing for me to flip that switch and degrade you in front of your friends and your family. That's not a problem for me. I've had 50 years of practice with a famous name. So slicing somebody down is just not. And I grew up around black women. Whoa, nobody can go up one side and then down the other like a black woman. I'm just saying. Bleach blonde, bad body, bleach blonde. Whatever it was, a lady in Senator Congress said to the other lady, and then they made a song about it. Anyways, all right, look. So I thought she was clowning on me, and then I backed off of that, and I said, all right, it's a motorcycle helmet. I work for DoorDash. And then the main lady comes out, and she comes back. She's like, all right, the food's not ready yet. It'll be a minute. We'll talk, blah, 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 blah. And the second lady comes back and pushes back to the front, and her eyes are wide open. And she's like, she's super short, little cute thing, super short. And she just had her apron on, and she's just happy. Like I was Santa Claus walking in the building. That's what it was. It was literally that scene in Elf. I still haven't seen Elf, but I've seen the memes. When Santa walks in and the elf guy goes bananas and loses it, that's exactly what happened. And I don't understand it. The last time I rode a motorcycle, nobody went bananas at a stoplight. Nobody went bananas in traffic, staring out of their car window like they'd never seen a motorcycle before. And at first I thought it was New Mexico, but New Mexico is a really heavily motorcycled state. They have 300 days of sunshine. Everybody here has a motorcycle. There is a high percentage of recreational motorcycles here because somebody told New Mexico that they have a winter, which they do not. Absolutely do not. They have 2 weeks of cold-ish weather, and then it's over. And then it goes, tomorrow's going up to 70, and it's February 22nd. Yeah, and I've only missed 7 days of riding this year. So the idea that New Mexico gets a winter is BS. So there's motorcycles around year-round. So the only thing I can really come up with is that it's the social mediazation of motorcycling. I have to tell people on a daily basis, and I've come up with a script in my head because it's business. I'm at work. If somebody came to your job and said, oh my God, that hamburger, how do you flip that hamburger like that? You would feel kind of weird about it, right? You're like, it's a hamburger. And I flipped it over to the other side so I could cook. You've never seen a hamburger cook before? That's what I'm saying. A motorcycle is not that magical. It really isn't. Until you add social media to the mix. Once you add social media to the mix, with everybody doing 100 miles an hour, 3 times the speed limit, wheelies, and blah, 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 then you get these situations. This light's kind of hot. You get these situations where people are expecting you to perform for them, because that's really what it comes down to. People want, in general, we have designed and built a society where people expect you to entertain them somehow. Because when people pull up to me at a light and ask, hey, can you do a wheelie? Can you do a burnout? Number one, I have motorcycle riding money. I'm in between businesses at the moment. So I have motorcycle riding money, and I ride a touring bike, which generally does better with touring tires, which I'm finding out Michelin Road 6 GTs are not cheap. It's not something you burn up at an intersection because some guy wants to see you fall. And that's what I'm getting to. Everybody wants you to entertain them, but they don't want entertainment. They want you to fall so they can laugh and hold up a vertical video, and then they think, oh, I got the next viral video. That's what it's about. That's the social mediazation of motorcycling. And that's what people expect. People expect me as a motorcyclist to do, and motorcycles were already black magic from day one. It's a small segment, and people don't know what it really is. And when you add social media to the mix, now it's a fantasy. I'm going to get me an ADV adventure bike, and I'm going to go ride to Indonesia. I'm going to ride around the world. I'm going to ride down to Brazil. No, you're not. No, you're not. When I incorporated motorcycling into my business as part of the plan where I ride around New Mexico and take pictures, I reined that in quick. Like riding to New York, back to New York to take pictures, riding to LA to go surfing, I reined all that in real quick. It started out as only New Mexico, and it's going to stay just about only New Mexico. I will eventually make a trip to New York, but it will likely be on the bus, in this bus, with the bike on the rack in the back. Because I'm not going for like a day. I have to go for like 3 weeks. That's the only way financially it makes sense. See, that's what people don't see in the Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, social media fantasy of motorcycling. And it's blowing my mind it's like I've been in a motorcycle coma for 30 years, and then to wake up to this weirdness it's strange, and I try to be nice about it. Like when people walk their children across the parking lot to me to show their kids my motorcycle. Look, kids, it's a motorcycle, in actual conversation at Walmart. And like, I'm supposed to stop what I'm doing and do an impromptu interview to entertain your family. It's not how that works. It's not how that works. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of motorcyclist, and I ain't that kind of guy. But I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm supposed to be entertaining the world for free. Which, I don't know. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't do stuff for free like that. Business. They did call me Money Mike at one point. Just saying. I'm having the one. All right. I'm not used to the social mediazation of motorcycling, but I will tell you this much. Lane splitting in New Mexico needs to be a thing. It is, but it needs, the only infrastructure we need for lane splitting is public education. That's really all we need. And I try to be patient with it. I try to I try to be patient with people, but and I don't want to apply New York rules to people. I don't think it's kind of fair to impose what I know about riding on two wheels in New York to riding with two wheels in New Mexico. But it's very different. It's very different. And like, and they're doing this thing in a little town here called Los Lunas, New Mexico. Well, not a little town. It's like 20,000 people. It's a decent sized town for New Mexico. But they're doing this thing where they built an Amazon center and a Facebook center and this little tiny strip of street. They still have main streets out here. Main Street, Highway 6 is just this little, it was a 2-lane road, and then they added 4 lanes, but then the 2 outer lanes are right up against the houses on the street. And the houses and the businesses, they have there's no turning lane, there's no nothing. Super old school little street. But now what they're doing, they added a Facebook center, an Amazon fulfillment center, and all down this one road. And at 3 p.m. every day, when the school's let out, there's shift change at Amazon, there's shift change at Facebook, and they all head for the highway because this main street also intersects with the highway, and it is jam-packed. And I won't lane split in New Mexico. That's something I very, like, on 99%, 999 rare occasion will I lane split in New Mexico. There's just not enough public education, but it is a very respectful motorcycle town. But lane filtering, once everybody comes to a stop, because there's no traffic. There's never been any traffic here in 20 years that I've been here. Now, all of a sudden, in this one little town, there's all this traffic. And I got food going bad in the back of my motorcycle. And everybody comes to a stop. And, all right, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to lose my mind on these people because they don't see this on a regular basis. So they're going to be a little upset. You know how people are nowadays. All you got to do is change lanes in front of somebody, then you cut me off. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so it comes to a stop one time. It comes to a stop a second time. Comes to a stop a third time. And here in New Mexico, they're so polite here. They are so polite here, like to a fault. Because what will happen is on this little street, there's a Wendy's, there's a Buffalo Wild Wings, there's a Walgreens, there's a McDonald's, there's a Home Depot, there's a Lowe's, there's an Applebee, and then the people will be exiting these side businesses, and then someone will be coming this way, and they'll be, no, you go, 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 no, you go. And once I see that, when it comes to that third stop, all right, I'm gone. And let's just say when I was a bike messenger in the city, that was 10 tenths all day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day, 5 days a week, 10 tenths every day. In New Mexico, I will not use 10 tenths traffic rules at any point. It's just not necessary. The roads are smooth. The traffic is non-existent. It's just not necessary. So I will go up to 2 tenths at some point when that third, no, you go, no, you go, no, you go, no, you go. When the third time, gone, I'm gone. And the thing is, it's not a thing of getting anywhere really faster. It's really getting there more efficiently. And I don't make any money until I turn around. I've been on two wheels long enough to know I was an independent contractor. As a bicycle messenger, you're an independent contractor, and you get paid for the job, no matter how long it takes you. But then once you get the job, you need to get rid of that job so you can get another job and get paid again. So I understand turnaround, and the clock is ticking once you get that package, once you accept that call, and boom, and you need to get that call and get rid of it, and then get back in the ring so you can make some money. I'm dying here. Excuse me. So if we hit that third stop, sorry, I got a lane split. Okay, speaking of New Mexico, wondering what that noise was. Speaking of New Mexico, I had one time I stepped out of this bus. This is cow pasture. This is all cow pasture. And I stepped outside of the bus one day, and there was a footprint on the ground. Usually it's just my boot prints that are on the ground. It's the only footprints I ever see around here. One day I stepped outside, and there was a big paw print, an obvious paw print. First thought, bear, which happens in New Mexico. Second thought, mountain lion. Yeah. It's too big, too small for a bear, too big for a cat, too big for a dog, but about the right size for a mountain lion. And then I saw it again. I've seen it twice since I've been out here. Humorex HDR 50. That hopefully will help me in that situation. It's a paintball marker, but you can load it with pepper spray balls. So I don't want to kill the animal. You know what I mean? He doesn't really want me. I just want to, boom, scary. It makes a loud noise. It fires a thing of pepper spray, and it is nasty business. Like nasty business. Might want to take it to Minnesota. But I don't want to get eaten. I don't want to be the first black guy in New Mexico to die. The black guy dies first. I don't want to be the first black guy to die. I'm only the first thing to die from mountain lion attacks in Valencia County. And and I don't know, what was I talking about? So I get off track sometimes. Oh yeah, this is another thing about New Mexico that needs to get handled. Who is putting mustard on the hamburgers? I was whipped today. I didn't defrost any food. I sectioned everything out, froze it, and then I forgot to defrost something. Which, don't forget to take something out of the freezer today. And I stopped it. I don't eat nationwide franchises anymore, so I stopped at Whataburger, and I get to Whataburger, and usually it's a little like extra, just I don't know. It's a lot of presentation. You know what I'm saying? And I get to Whataburger today. I'm gonna watch the movie. What was it, Exit 8? And eat my Whataburger. Give me some ice cream. Live in my lactose intolerance, and just enjoy the evening. Mustard on the hamburger. So much mustard. And it's not the first time. Who told New Mexico to put mustard on your hands? Stop it. I don't know. Jersey's not like a big hamburger place, but we don't put mustard. That's just odd. Can we get a moratorium? We need to go to the Roundhouse. Yeah, we need to go to the Roundhouse. Talk to Governor Lujan Grisham. Tell, look, I don't want to sound racist, but the mustard's got to go. Nobody's doing that. Who is putting mustard on hamburgers? Pickles, all right, odd, but okay. You take them off and eat them on their own because they just get all messed up in your mouth. I don't like the mix. Just the pickles has to be separate from the burger. And then they put the big giant ring of onions. No, you chop the onions up. We're so close to Mexico. You make the diced onions and then you put on the hamburger. Don't make the big onion ring and then you bite into it and you drag the big. I'm going to Santa Fe tomorrow and I'm going to make my case with the governor. She might have her hands tied. Speaking of New Mexico, there is, like I've been saying all along that New Mexico is not going to put up with the federal government's BS. New Mexico is older than Mexico. New Mexico has the world's oldest, the United States' oldest state capital. New Mexico is not. Nobody even knows it's here. Number one, but New Mexico is its own thing. We don't need anybody. Like when you talk apocalypse or collapse of the federal government or the food chain or supply chain, everybody here has a well. So we got water. Everybody here has a firearm. There's probably in the whole state, I would say in a zombie apocalypse, in the whole state, you're going to get 15 zombies. And they have this Matanza thing every year. They're just going to catch the 15 zombies and they'll just put them as entertainment in the Matanzas. Here, shoot at the zombie. And that's going to be the whole thing. That's going to be the whole thing. Is that we don't really need other states. We're kind of okay on our own. So this whole thing with immigration, and I might be maybe the first person to break this to you, but everybody here, except for me, is at least half Mexican. If you ever come to New Mexico, you're going to see a guy that looks super white. And then you're going to see that his name tag says Carlos, works at Circle K. His tag says Carlos. Like a white guy with a Carlos name? What does that mean? And then you're going to hear him talk. 100% not white. A little bit, but 100% like Hispanic Latino. And they have different names for it here too. There's Chicano, Chino, Hispanic, Latino, and there's a bunch of like it depends on where your grandmother was born, or where your mother was born, or where your dad. They have a thing, and this is another thing. Mexico does not care at all about racism, like at all. They work on a caste system, so they're not concerned with racism at all. They had like that thing when they say beaner, which I thought was their N-word. It's absolutely not. They don't care about that at all. Like when people call them racial slurs, they don't care about that. They could care less. If you say something about their standing in the Catholic Church, that will start a fight with a Hispanic Latino person, like in a heartbeat. If you say something about their financial status, that will start a fight with a Hispanic Latino person. That will start an N-word fight in New Mexico. If you talk to a Hispanic Latino person and disparage their religion or their social status, be prepared to throw hands. Be prepared to throw hands because they don't play that. They don't play that at all. It's different. It's different. You got to travel. You got to meet other people and see who they are before you want to say, hey, let me throw you in a $40 billion detention center. Now, granted, if you voted for him, love you. We've all been swindled. We've all been suckered. There's a sucker born every minute, and I've been a sucker. Everybody's been a sucker. You got suckered. Not a big deal. Still love you. And when you want to step away from that, we're here for you. We'll go we'll go to Whataburger and we'll go get something with some mustard on it. Maybe that'll make you happy. And we'll say, hey, we voted for Obama. He didn't do anything. So I guess we're even. Anyways, The New Mexico is not going to play nice with that, and with the resources that we have. One thing you don't know, if you're not from New Mexico, one thing you don't know about Mexico, it is a farming community. There are cows. I live in a cow pasture. There are cows everywhere. There are farms everywhere. We grow everything. We could quite easily shut down the borders, put up a wall, and survive on our own. Just the same way Germany survives on its own, just the same way that Antigua, Egypt, a little trade here and there with what's left of the United States and Canada and Mexico, and we're good. All we really need to do is trade with Mexico. That would be our best, just trade with Mexico. Maybe we need vegetables or bananas or something from Mexico, some Mediterranean tropical fruits. But we don't need, like when ICE comes here, ICE has been here, ICE is here. But when they come here, if things get ugly, like Minnesota ugly, I don't think New Mexico is going to play nice. The Hispanic community, they don't play like that. It's like that here. It's like that here. They can mess with anybody they want to. But once you mess with somebody they're messing with, it's on. Be ready. Be ready to throw hands. And they can argue amongst each other here in New Mexico, but if a third party comes in, nope. This is between me and him, Holmes, and then it's on. And then they both turn towards you, and then you find out why you shouldn't have intervened with that argument. You should just let them argue it out for themselves. Instead now you got to fight two angry people. Oh, man. But getting back to, I don't know, something happier. I am resetting the business, and the first trip, and it 100% involves a motorcycle. This has all been a plan, by the way. Therefore, the grace of God, this has all been a plan. And the motorcycle rack on the back of the bus, the living in the bus thing, all of it's been a plan. Traveling New Mexico for the last 15 years of my life and taking some pictures, making a video for my great grandchild. All of this came from the inspiration of I went to Ancestry.com. No pictures. There's a picture of my grandfather and a picture of my grandmother when she was very young. Picture of my mother, my father, and that's about it. I want to leave something behind. I don't know what, but I'm going to keep spreading it around. I'm going to keep spreading it around till, my great granddaughter says, hey, yeah, he was a bad guy. He did some things and turned it around, became a halfway decent person, toured New Mexico in an old school bus and an old motorcycle and an old camera, took some decent pictures, and maybe they'll turn into heirlooms. Who knows? How long is this going? Holy cow. This is only supposed to be 20 minutes. It's getting cold in here. I had to turn the heat off because the fan, you can hear it in the microphone. So we got to wrap this up. Anyways, I hate to call this a podcast, but that's the podcast.